In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the best use of Google Ads responsive search ads format. And I'll also show you how I plan and write ad copy to fit the responsive search ad format and test ads. And if you watch through to the end of this video, I'll share a free template that I use to copy and paste entire responsive search ads into Google Ads in just a few clicks. So stick around after this and we'll get started. First of all, what are responsive search ads? They are the new text ad format for Google Ads. As of June 2022, you can no longer make the expanded text ad, which just had 3 headlines and 2 descriptions. Responsive search ads have 15 headline options and 4 description options. Responsive search ads are not for shopping or display. These are just limited to the text ads that you'll see if you look at the search results page on a google.com search. I'll show you now an example of a responsive search ad. This is the responsive search ad editing interface in the Google Ads online platform. And these are a couple previews of responsive search ads right here. I'm using this device, the pluggable USB docking station, as an example. I don't work with this company, but I have this product. What we have here are a lot of headlines. So there's 15 headline options, and then 4 descriptions. And beyond that, these are just the same as expanded text ads or the regular text ads in Google Ads. So there's a display path 1, display path 2, there's the final URL, and then there's some other options down here that we won't get into. But what makes a responsive search ad responsive is that Google will take up to 3 of these headlines and dynamically insert that into your ad at auction time. So the idea is that Google can take any of the 15 headlines that seem the most appropriate from Google's perspective for the search user who's searching on google.com. So for example, in this ad, I have pluggable UD3900 laptop dock from $99. If I click through some more, this one has the same headline 1, but now headline 2 is different. That's a call to action that I've written down in one of the ad examples. And so you could imagine that if Google receives a search for the pluggable 3900 docking station, so let's say I go to google.com and I type in pluggable 3900 station. That search would correspond quite nicely with this ad because this ad uses pluggable 3900 and then the words docking station. So this might be an option that Google chooses to use to serve to somebody making that search. And for another example, let's say in another search, someone might include DVI port. So let's say instead of docking station or laptop docking station, let's say I searched 1 DVI port. So then Google might opt to show this combination of headlines to that search user because this headline includes a keyword from their search. So that's essentially what a responsive search ad does for the headlines and then for the descriptions. And so this is a great option. The problem for advertisers is that it takes quite a bit of thought and planning to come up with 15 relevant and useful headlines. I find that by the time I've written maybe 10 headlines, I'm running out of creative steam, and so I'll start typing in rather useless ad copy, so like buy now or shop here, stuff like that. So I would say that's ad writing fatigue, and that's not a great way to use responsive search ads. I have a much better way of using responsive search ads now after working with them for about a year here, and so I'll share that with you in a couple steps, just 3 steps actually. So we'll get started using this as an example. So let's get to step 1 in my process, which is to go to the landing page of the product or service that you're advertising. I'm doing an e-commerce store as an example, but this would apply if you are advertising legal services or something else that's not e-commerce related. The first step, I'm just writing ad copy, and I want to make the ad copy really tailored to the product and really useful for someone who is using Google's search engine. What I want to do is take a bunch of features and benefits from this product page and write them down in a spreadsheet. And so I'll start writing those here. And so for example, I could take features a hybrid 2-in-1 USB 3.0 cable. So let's just take that. And I'm actually going to categorize these in features and benefits of the product. A good example of a feature would be a specification, a technical specification. So this is a technical specification. In fact, I'm going to shorten it. Features hybrid 2-in-1 USB 3.0, supports dual HD monitors. That would be a good feature. Supports dual HD. And then I'm going to take this one, compatible with Mac OS 10.14. So I'll go ahead and finish these, and then I'll explain a little bit about why I'm separating them into features and benefits once I'm done. Okay, so now I have plenty of ad copy written, and I've divided it up into features, benefits, and then I also have some general statements or headlines about what the product is, and then finally some calls to action, because it's good to include calls to action in ads as well. My features are all technical specifications, so something about the product, which could be anything from the price to the fact that it comes with a warranty, the number of ports. So you could imagine if we were selling a TV, a television, it could be something like the resolution of the television, or if it was a pair of shoes, it could be something like the size of the shoes. But for us, in this example, it's for this laptop docking station. So these are all the relevant features that I want to include about it, features that I took right from the product page. The next thing that I have are benefits, and benefits are distinct from features in that a benefit explains how the product or service will benefit your life or benefit some outcome that the consumer is looking for when they're shopping for the product or service. So in this case, being able to dock your laptop with ease, this first headline, that's a benefit, or saving valuable desk space, that's a benefit. And the reason I want to separate these is that I want to test which type of ad copy works better for people who are shopping for this. And so I've got also features and benefits also divided in descriptions. So I've got one description or two descriptions that include features, two descriptions that include benefits. And then these are not really describing what the product is. These are just general descriptions that I can use in all my ads, which will be useful shortly when I show you how I'm putting the ads together. And then last, my calls to action. And if you want to get a better understanding of the difference between features and benefits and how to use them in ads, I'll recommend to you this book by Brad Geddes, which is Advanced Google AdWords. Chapter 4 has a great discussion on features and benefits and how to use them in ads. But for this example today, we'll call it good with this list of features and benefits. And then last, for our calls to action, I just want to quickly point out that I'm not using bland calls to action like shop now or get a quote. Sometimes get a quote might make sense, but generally calls to action should be more convincing than just shop here or browse selection. Things like that are not very helpful. So I've included a benefit, or I should say a feature of ordering the product in this call to action. So it comes with free shipping. This one I said find your docking station. I just used that as an opportunity to include the keywords docking station again, and then find compatible docking stations, letting people know that they can find different compatible types of stations. Now at this point, what I can do is start pasting these into my ads in the Google Ads interface, or you can use this template, which is what I use and what I'll use right now. So I've already made this template. This saves a lot of time. And if you'd like to use this template, I'll put it in the description below. But if you do choose to use this, make sure that you do File, Make a Copy, and then make a copy in your own drive. That way you can use and edit this in any way that you'd like. Don't use the share button because this is a static version that I won't share because I need to keep it just as is for other people to copy. And so just use File, Make a Copy if you want to use this. All right, so we'll get back into making ads. So here, what I'll do is I'll start planning how I want to show my ads, how I want to organize this ad, all these headlines that I've come up with. And what I'll do, let's just, for example, I'll just show you why I would want to think about organizing my ad headlines. We saw earlier that when I cycle through the different examples, sometimes headlines don't show up exactly the way I'd like them to. Like this is a bad example of an ad because it doesn't state what the product is right up front. It just lists a feature, 2K 60Hz screen support. So someone seeing this in the Google search results might not know what this thing is that has 2K 60Hz screen support, particularly because not always does the third headline show. And so a better version of this ad would have laptop docking station as the first headline and 2K screen support as the second or third. So like this one, so laptop docking station, the what the product is that we're selling is first, which is good. Also because this will probably correspond with someone's search query, so the keyword that someone uses to search for this product, will probably include docking station, so that's good that it's right up front. And then a feature is here in the second headline, and then the third headline, 2-year warranty, that's great, that's another feature. And so I don't want to allow this to happen, so what I can do is use this feature to the right of each headline, which are called pins. So I can pin headlines to certain positions. So if I tick 1 and then 1, and then I'll do 1 on this one also, because this is also a statement of just simply put what the product is. If I pin all those to the front, they'll only show in that first headline position, which is what I want. So that's great. And then with the next set of headlines, these are all the features. And so I can pin all these to position 2 to make sure that they show second. And then the last few headlines that I've written, which are calls to action, I can either pin to position 3, or I can just leave them unpinned, because with all these other headlines pinned first and second headline position, these have to show in the third headline position anyway. This looks much better to me. Yeah, so dual monitor docking station, that's what I want. In the front from $99, that's great. And then a call to action here, which kind of got cut off, but that's okay. So this is how I want the ads to read. So I've pinned what I want to be in each position. And just a note here that we'll look at in more depth at the end of the video, but as you pin things, you'll see that this quality score goes down. So if I were to unpin all of these except for just 2 of them, there you can see that the ad strength is poor now, and that's because I've only actually let Google put this in the first headline, and this is the only thing that can go in the second headline. Headlines have to go in position 3, and so Google's rating that as ad strength poor because I've only given Google 2 headlines really to work with. Again, because the third headline doesn't always show up in ads. So while you're pinning, you'll notice that the quality score will go up and down, but as you finish pinning, it'll go back. And if you pin nothing, you're more likely to get an excellent score. But I don't mind if I have a good score, as long as the ad reads in the order that I'd like it to. Okay, so that was the second step, planning where to put the headlines. And then I won't repin these right now because I'll just show you how to use the template that I've created to do all that faster. So in this headline, pin positions, I've got 1, 1, 1, just like I had before, and I've got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And you can see I've already pasted my ad copy over here, and I've divided it by the type of ad copy that I want in each position. And so what the product is, that's all pinned to position 1. The features are all pinned to position 2. And then the calls to action are all positioned to, well, they're not pinned, so that they'll by default show up in position 3. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just go to this last sheet in this spreadsheet, and I'll copy everything from cell A2 down to A3 and then all the way over to the far right. I'll copy that, and I'm not going to paste this in the Google Ads online interface because it never seems to work for me. So what I'll actually do instead is I'll use the Google Ads editor, which is this program. And I will, in my Google Ads editor, I'll navigate to the campaign that I'm interested in. And if you don't know how to use the Google Ads editor, I'll link to another video below so that you can learn how to use this from me. It's a free program. You don't have to pay for this. It's provided by Google in multiple languages. I recommend using it. It's the fastest way to do this. Back to this ad, I'm going to go to my search campaign, the ad group that I want to add the ad to. I'll click make multiple changes. And then with all that ad copy still in my clipboard, I'll just click paste from clipboard, and I can see that Google recognized the column headers, so campaign, ad group, ad type, which were right up here, campaign, ad group, ad type. So that's all recognized all the way to the last column, and then I'm good to go. So I'll just hit process, finish and review, and there I can see the whole ad is in here. And I actually can also see that I've got a couple headlines that are a little too long, so I'll just fix those. And that's actually also shown in my template here. So if the character length is too long, it's turning red here. And so you can check these before you even paste them into the Google Ads editor, although the Google Ads editor will still show you. So importantly, the name of the the name of the campaign and the name of the ad group have to match exactly what you have in the ad editor. Otherwise, these won't paste correctly. And now that I'm done, I can just hit post, and I can send this to my ad account online. So that saves a lot of time, especially because of what I'm going to do next. So the last step in the process, my process, is creating tests for my ads. And so what I did here is we first made an ad that has the features, but I don't know if the features will be the most effective ad copy for this product. And so what I have down below is another template. It's just the same thing, but here I put all the benefits ad copy. So everything that I wrote over here, I took that and I put that in this different ad. And in fact, I have my labels mixed up. So this is the benefits, ad, and this is the features ad. And so same thing, I can just take this, which I've got here, and I can paste this whole ad into my ad group in the ads editor just by using make multiple changes and then paste from clipboard. And I know I've got some errors here in my spreadsheet that I will fix. Yeah, so I just have a couple errors here. So let me just add this. Yeah, okay, so I've got a couple errors. I'll just fix that another time. But what I'll do for this example is I'll just take my ad, duplicate it, and then I'm going to change this label from features to benefits, and then I will put my benefits ad copy in here. Okay, there, now I have my two different types of ad copy. So I've got a features ad and then a benefits ad. You could definitely do more than just testing the features and benefits. So for example, I could do a third one, and I could do things like putting the price. So I could put 119 for, model whatever. I think this was the 3900. I could put in 10% off. So promotions I could add here. I could add all sorts of different things. Then I could have a different label, which I'll use in a moment for testing. So let's call this one promotions. And so then I could test 3 different types of ads. This probably is enough just testing 2, but you can see this is just for demonstration that you could test all sorts of things with your ad copy, not just features and benefits. Although I think features and benefits is probably the best place to start. So, all right, then I'll post both of these to the account. If there's any errors, I'll see those here, but there's no errors, so that posted just fine. Okay, and then the last step is to create a report so that I can check which ads are actually performing better. So now I'll go back into my Google Ads account. I'll just X out of this because my ad has already been uploaded via the Google Ads editor. Let's see, I won't see it here just yet because it takes a moment. But anyway, I'll go ahead and make my report. So I'll hit custom table. And what I'm going to do is make a report that divides the ads by label. So I'll hit label. And then the main thing that I want to see is the click-through rate. So, and then last, I should also check the impressions just to make sure that the ads are showing about an even amount, and then clicks. And so with this, once these ads have some data, I can actually see really easily which type of ad text works best. And I could even subdivide that by campaign or ad group. So let's just say campaign. And I only have one campaign here, but if I had multiple campaigns, I could see if maybe the features or benefits ad copy works better in different campaigns. So for example, a remarketing campaign might see better performance with the features ad copy, whereas a cold traffic campaign might see better results with a benefits ad copy. So those are all interesting things that you could test, and it's really easy to do using the reports. I'll show you an example now of that same thing in a live account. So I can see that although the spend is a little bit uneven, it's quite a bit uneven, but nonetheless, this ad had a much better click-through rate. It's almost, it's actually it's about 50% more click-through rate than this one, which is the benefits. So this makes it just really easy to see which type of ad is doing better. I also have a label called loser, which if I had an ad that performed poorly, I'll just put that label on it and then pause it. So, all right. To make sure our tests run correctly, I won't save this, but I'll just leave, I'm gonna not actually leave this ad group settings on the default settings. I'm going to change it such that the ad rotation rotates ads indefinitely. The reason I'm doing this is that I don't want this to happen, where I had one ad showing a lot more. So this one was showing a lot more than this one, and so the results are a little bit uneven. I'd rather have each ad show approximately the same number of times, because then I'll know that any differences in performance don't have anything to do with this prefer best performing ads feature. So what I'll do now, I'll hit save, and then I could either make a note in my calendar to check the test at the end of 30 days. That would be a good time frame. I could also add a note in the campaign section that says features, something like features and benefits, ad test begins, so that when I come back to the ad account, I can see the date that I started this test, and then I can even add another note when it's finished. So those are my recommendations for using responsive ads in a way that's fast and efficient and helps you test. So a few things that we did that were important: we divided ad copy into features and benefits. We had some calls to actions and then just some basic descriptions of what the product were for the ad copy. And we saved it in an Excel spreadsheet, actually a Google Sheet. But that way, when I go to write new ad copy, I don't have to write all my ads right within the Google Ads online interface, which is time consuming. And then, of course, if your internet connection is lost, you'll lose all those headlines. So now they're just saved in a spreadsheet, and I can refer back to them and use them in different places easily without having to rewrite ad copy from scratch every time I go to write ads. Lastly, and importantly, we added labels to our ads, and that way we can test which types of ad copy perform better or worse with different campaigns and ad groups. So that's it. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please make sure to like this video and then subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many of them as I can. So anyway, thank you for watching and good luck.